Hello everyone, I am G.Lalith Vignesh. My roll number is 234G1A0577. I am from CSE section and under the guidance of Dr. S. Sunita Madam, Associate Professor in SRT Autonomous College, I am doing a project, community service project on voter awareness campaign. The contents are going to include introduction, problem identification, objectives, methodologies which include survey methods and data collection, then implementation and activities, resources used, results and outcomes, challenges faced, conclusion, photo gallery and references. This is going to be our contents. For the first introduction, I would like to state that voting is a fundamental democratic right. Many citizens are unaware of voter registration and electoral services, and these citizens are mainly concentrated in small rural areas where education is not readily available and most of the people might be illiterate. The campaign was aimed to educate villagers about responsible voting because responsible voting is a democratic right and is very necessary for any proper functioning democratic state. Activities were properly conducted in Bukraya Samudram village, which comes under Anantapur district, Andhra Pradesh. The program encouraged ethical and informed participation in elections. This is hoping to maintain proper democratic voting every single year and every single 5 years and make sure that the voters are aware of their rights and what is a proper voting method and will not give in to fake votes or taking money for the votes. Moving on, we are coming to problem identification. What exactly is the problem in current democratic functioning that is lackluster compared to other countries? The first thing is lack of awareness about voter registration. Many people are not registered, and even the registered ones did not do it properly. They did it with very old photos or with wrong names or wrong birth of dates, and each registration has different name. The Radha has a different thing and the voter ID has a different name. So it creates a lot of problem for them. So the first problem identification we saw is there is a lack of awareness about voter registration among the citizens. Then there is a limited knowledge of EVM, which is electronic voting machine, and VVPAT. Then it goes on to low awareness of digital electoral services. They do not have idea or have any proper information about what digital electoral services are. They never really moved on from the ballot system where you use paper sheet and you stamp your vote and then drop it into some box. It creates a lot of friction, it creates a lot of problems, and it is very hard to make sure that they are complying with the rules. So the government has brought digital electoral services, but our people are not entirely aware about the innovation and the way that we are currently using the digital electoral services to battle corruption and fake votings. Then there is incomplete voter information among eligible citizens. Even the people who are eligible, who are literate, who are old enough, do not have enough information to properly vote. And then there is need for greater participation for first-time voters. A lot of youth even are continuing to ignore the elections because they believe they are not going to make a difference. And they are not aware of the power that a vote has and are not aware what a good voting village can do for themselves. Moving on, we come to objectives. What are our objectives? The objectives are to create awareness about the importance of voting, educate. First, they need to be aware the kind of the power that they hold in the form of voting. Only then they can see the value in it, and only then they can properly put any effort to learn about it. Only then there will be motivation to actually go out of their house and stand in long lines to make sure that they vote at least once a year. So when they understand the value, they start to see it not as a burden but as a privilege. And then we need to educate citizens on voter registration procedures. If they do not know how to register, their enthusiasm of voting is going to be destroyed by the time they try to vote. So we need to make sure that they know about registration procedures first. We are going to also demonstrate EVM and VVPAT functioning. We need to do this because if they suddenly end up before a EVM machine when they are voting and do not know how to use it, we are going to lose a very precious vote, and we do not want that. So educating people beforehand on how to use EVM machines is much better than intruding upon them when they are voting to explain them how it's going to work. Then We try to promote ethical and fair voting practices, which is the backbone of any democratic state. Then we are going to encourage first-time voter participation, which means majorly the youth who are looking at vote as a burden rather than a privilege. And we are going to educate them on the importance of voting and going to help them vote for the first time. Then we are going to introduce the voter helpline app, which is aimed towards helping them understand the services that can be provided. For example, where are the polling stations near you, what constituency do you belong to, and other information like that, which is readily available in this app. Methodology: the methods that we used to survey and collect data. For one, we did conduct door-to-door household survey. We interacted with villagers and local representatives. We collected data on voter registration and awareness. We identified first-time eligible voters. We analyzed survey findings to plan awareness programs. By doing all of this, we made sure we collected enough information to act upon so that we can properly help them understand what voting is and properly clear every single one of our objective without any uh, foul play. Implement activities. The kind of activities that we did to help the people to help us realize our objectives and help people understand what voting procedure is. For one, we conducted voter awareness campaigns. Then we explained voter registration process, which is essentially how you are going to register so that you can vote in the coming elections. And we made sure they will understand the necessary documents that they will need, the necessary time they need to go to, and the necessary documents that they would need to carry when they are going to vote. Then we demonstrated how EVM and VVPAT machines work. Then we promoted ethical voting practices. We also demonstrated voter helpline app, also distributed awareness templates to every household and to every person on the streets. We also conducted interactive question and answer sessions where the villagers can freely ask if they have any kind of doubts, and we will answer them one by one. And in this interactive procedure, I believe that we built a good rapport, and the rapport has helped them understand the importance of voting. And I believe even in the future, this Q&A session will be remembered so that they will be able to help themselves by voting properly. The resources that we used are survey questionnaires, awareness posters, EVM and VVPAT demonstration material, voter helpline app, guidance from faculty mentor and village officials. Survey questionnaire is where the papers that we used to conduct the survey. Awareness posters are the posters that we made by ourselves and printed ourselves so that people can be more aware. We wanted to spread awareness through them. Then there are pamphlets explaining the need for voting, which is also something similar to awareness posters, but rather than sticking it on a wall, we gave them hand to hand. Then we demonstrated EVM and VVPAT machine demonstration material, and we showed them voter helpline app. It is the resource that we used and showed them how it works. And the guidance from faculty mentor and village officials is the most important resource which helped us throughout the community service project. Results and outcomes. The results and outcomes of conducting this project was we increased awareness about voting rights among the villagers. We improved understanding of voter registration among the villagers. We helped the villagers learn EVM and VVPAT usage, encouraged first-time voter enrollment. We also provided and promoted responsible and ethical voting. We increased awareness of digital electoral services. Challenges that we faced during the conducting of this community service project. The first thing was limited awareness among some villagers. Some of them were not educated and were not literate, so the posters and pamphlets did not work for them and we had to explain them orally. Then there is initial hesitation to participate. Then there was language and communication barriers, time constraints during household visits, and most importantly, need for repeated awareness sessions, which made it more time consuming than it was supposed to. Coming to the conclusion, we successfully conducted voter awareness rights, educated villagers on electoral rights and responsibilities, promoted ethical and informed voting, enhanced community participation, and gained practical experience in community service communication and teamwork. And now we come to the photo gallery. In the photo gallery, I have attached the voter awareness campaign, that poster that we made for the project. In the poster that you can see, it is written voter awareness campaign on your vote, your voice and your future. Then we also attached the images of household survey that we did with the village residents, which was done in Bukarasamudram, and the location and the date is also attached into it. Then finally, we also attached a photo of how we demonstrated electoral services, and we did it through our mobile and internet. And you can see in the pic attached that we all four stood together and explained to the different people of the village one by one. References: Election Commission of India, Voter Helpline App, Community Service Internship Guidelines, survey data collected at Bukra Samudram village. With that, we have completed our project, and this is the presentation showing the objectives, results and the effort that we took for this project. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.